All right, welcome back. Excuse me. So, let me say first of all, I have a medical issue. I've been having a medical issue past, I'll say, week or so, and they got me on this real strong pain medication, and it causes drowsiness, like serious. Every time I take it, I gotta go to sleep. So I won't be as active as I would be uh, when I'm off work for so many days, like I have been here recently. But I want to go over this idea in this video. And I'm going to tell you right now that if I were a lot better off than I am now, I would have this, not this what you see on the screen right here, but I would have this produced. I have this mass produced where it's just a protective bodysuit, either for adults or people of any age. And I got it. I got the. I thought somebody stole my idea for a minute. Come to find out, this is like this is not even real. I don't know what to. I don't know if it's real, but it's not something that's coming out, that's being produced to be available for the public. But he was going over, it was like, hey, yeah, what if you were invincible? You see the title of the video, how would you move if you were invincible? And he's going over this bodysuit that not even a bunch of tigers can get through, can't deal with it. And if you look at it right away, guess what? This is what people need in society just to walk down the street. Oh, you want to walk to your mailbox? You need one of these. That's how dangerous society is with dogs in it. Nobody can tell me that this is not needed in society. Let's be realistic though. This is a need. So like if I were to have this produced, it would sell. Now look, I don't have the time. Even if I had the money, I don't have the time to have anything like this produced. So I tell you what, you produce it. Whoever you might be, who might listen to this video. Maybe you're a millionaire somewhere in your mansion, right? Catching a little YouTube video from I Hate Dogs. You have this produced. If you got any amount of decency inside you, huh? Maybe you're in manufacturing. Have this produced, because the number of attacks, the brutality of the attacks, the number of dogs, there are more dogs in this country than children. More dogs than children. And if you produce it, make it available for adults, I guarantee you some adults will use it. This is what we need at this point. Now, isn't this pathetic? Isn't it pathetic? Now, this gives you an idea of what's needed. But obviously, you couldn't use this. This is a bee protective. This is for bees. But you would need the entire head protected. Because as we all know, I would say well over 50% of the time, they're scalped. The youngsters, if you recall the statistics, when youngsters are attacked, there's like a far greater chance for severe injury. Far greater chance. It's like ridiculously higher with youngsters. And with dogs preferring to attack them, okay, they prefer to attack small victims. I think that makes this product mandatory. It's mandatory, especially when you're going out to public places like parks, and there'll be a bunch of people, and a bunch of others going to bring their dogs. Now, over in China, they produce dog bite resistant fabric. Now, I don't know, they might make it here. It might be available everywhere, anywhere. Now, think about this. Why hasn't this already been produced? Why haven't they already pondered over this? Think about this now. I'm telling you, they want the attacks to happen, and they want all the medical bills. They want that. There's money in dog attacks. But when you look at these attacks, the number of them, you look at how they have increased ridiculously, man, increased at a ridiculous rate. I would say between right now, 2026, and let's say the year 2010, dog attacks have risen what? Let's say what? 500%, 600%. It's a ridiculous amount, man. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Dog bite resistant fabric. You know what? You better make a whole bodysuit out of this stuff. Use this stuff as the base for an entire bodysuit. Look, she has on a bite resistant sweatshirt. That's what I'm talking about. Me or you, any of us could get this. Would be far better. Get it for your family. Get it for your family. Get the different sizes. I'm sure they offer them. And see if they make pants. Get these. If this is not mass produced, those of us, dog culture critics, people who know better, should have this. I have already placed my order in for one of these bad boys. You better hurry up and do the same. Okay? Cut resistant fabric. Here, let me share this. Let me share this right now. Even though I'm pretty sure all of you could have easily found this. Okay, we need to be a step ahead of the goofiness of dog culture. A step ahead of these people who committing the same crimes over and over and over again. Now, they make cut-resistant fabric. I think that's different from puncture-resistant fabric. I think it's a lot different. You know, I think it's all woven differently. This is a bite-resistant fabric or piece of material here. I'm not sure exactly what this is. Here you go. Cut-resistant fabric. Here's another example. And I think these are the gloves. These are the gloves. Let me see here. Cut-resistant materials made of UHMWPE. Okay, Aramic glass fiber and stainless steel fiber can provide excellent protection and security to prevent the potential cut or slash injuries caused by glass handling. Now, I'm not sure. I don't like the way that sounds. I specifically want puncture resistant. Here's some more right here. Now this is, you see up here, bite resistant. Gloves. They're gonna need some gloves. Can't just have a shirt. This is ridiculous. Tell me this is not ridiculous. Okay, you're gonna need gloves. Walking out here every day as if there's some type of biohazard. This is what we need. All because of these nutters. All because of these nutters. And you don't want to fool around and find yourself being mauled, maybe by multiple dogs, and all the while you knew about this. You knew about this. Okay? You never know. A dog try to bite down on you, and it feels that it can't penetrate. Now, maybe a pit bull can eventually rip through it. I don't care, man. You need as much protection as possible. Anything is better than your little flimsy shirt, or of course, a lot of people don't even have shirts. The dog will clamp down directly on their bare skin. That's another thing. When it's hot, you don't want to wear stuff like this. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You would need something that's specially designed where you could stay protected and stay cool. It's ridiculous. But tell me this is not a necessity. A necessity. Dog lovers, You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves. There's something like this is needed in society, and it's irrefutable. Irrefutable. You can't trust these goofy dog owners with their goofy leashes. You can see it now. They pop up. Oh, don't worry. My dog is under control. He's a good boy. See, I got him on a leash. Turn out this mutt is easily able to drag you across the ground, or with any and everybody, they're able to just get away from you. They could lunge, snatch that leash right out of your hand. Most of the time, Happy New Year. That's another thing. Happy New Year. I'm sorry. Happy New Year to everybody. We did it again. All right, we did it again. We made it a whole nother year. Happy New Year. Most dog owners are not going to be ready for a leash to be snatched out of their hands. You have to brace yourself in order to control a dog that wants to get away from you. You have to brace yourself. Y'all remember that video where this lady, let's see if I can pull it up, where this lady, she was walking two pit bulls, and the pit bull saw a cat and attacked it. That's a perfect video for people to see, to know how not to try to stop a dog attack. Excuse me, to stop dogs. She squared up. Here's the video right here. And I'm going to show y'all what she did that was so wrong. It's really the cause of why she couldn't hold them back. But even if she were postured correctly, I don't think she had the physical strength to be able to have stopped these mutts. I might have to slow it down, but pay close attention to her feet. Look at where her feet are at the very time where she needed proper leverage. Okay, they see the cat. They run over there, look at her feet. She should have braced herself right then and there. But look, now she's squared up. Look at that. She's trying to stop him right now. And that's why she just tipped over. And I believe what? Slapped her face right against the ground. She needed at that time to have her legs spread apart and to have her weight on her back leg. But yet, she squared right up. There was no way, not even a man, not even a physically strong man could have stopped those dogs when you have a posture like that. So you can't trust no stupid leash. Period. You can't trust them. You can't trust anything. You can't trust mace or pepper spray. If you ask me, I just showed a video where these people were spraying these dogs right in the eyes, and the dogs wasn't even reacting. Wasn't even reacting. Once they go into attack mode, it's like nothing can stop them unless they somehow faint. You got to cut off oxygen to their brain, right? You really have to incapacitate them in order for them, because they just can't stop. This is what they were bred for. So if nothing else, you need maximum protection for the victim or potential victim. Wasn't it kind of crazy how that cat just sat there? It had plenty of time to get out the way. You know, cats are fast. That thing could have jumped on top of that truck in no time. Right? Cats, they get up and get out of there. This crazy cat just sat there and looked at him. Look at that. It could have been got out of there. Look at that. And instead just tries to take him on. Lord. So yeah, we don't want to find ourselves in that position, in that situation. But we need protection. We need protection. These stories, you know, every unaliving is preceded with torture. And I don't want to know what it feels like to get stabbed to death, you know, with relatively small spikes. Some of these unalivings take a long time. We don't put ourselves in their shoes, especially law enforcement. When they respond to a dog attack, they always fail to mention how horrible of a death it was. But they do when it comes to dogs. Whenever they always bring up, oh, I can't imagine how it must have felt, how horrible of a death that was. Remember, they brag about the fact that when they euthanize dogs, it's a painless death. Oh, it didn't suffer. It was humanely euthanized. 100% painless death. As if they got some type of phobia. They are so against having a slow, painful death for anyone. And obviously anything. So why? But when it comes to a dog attacking a person, they never mention it. Never mention it. This is ridiculous. We need to, this is a necessity, just like a weapon. Weapons are needed. I mean, that's just what it is. Whatever type of weapon of your choice, it's needed. And our government should not create an environment like that. Simple as that. Simple as that. Isn't that part of what we pay for? To be able to live in a safe environment? Right? That's the whole point of civilization, to separate ourselves from these wild, crazy, and y'all bringing them right into the community, into civilization. So what does that mean? We have to live as if we're living in the jungle. And this is part of the process. We need protection. And the crazy part is you can't skip protecting your face. Like this lady, her protective suit is incomplete. You got to have some on your face. Why? Especially for youngsters, that's the first place the dog goes for. The head, they're always getting scalped. And people are always getting their face mutilated. You got to protect your head. So it's ridiculous. You need a protective flipping helmet. You need a protective helmet. You're going to need to protect your hands, like I said. And you're going to need to protect your legs. You're going to need puncture-resistant pants. Think about this. Right? If you can't get a full bodysuit, the fact you need a whole bodysuit is ridiculous itself of itself. You're going to need a shirt, pants, gloves, helmet, and you may as well throw shoes in there. You better get some steel-toe shoes. Mutts, they bite people's shoes off all the time. They clamp down on people's shoes all the time. You got some little flimsy shoes, get your foot mutilated. Now, don't take that for granted. You mess around and get your foot mutilated, now you can't walk. That's you use your foot every day, all day, your feet. So guess what? We need puncture-resistant shoes. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is something legit that people should be in an uproar about. Seriously, this is ridiculous, man. Now, if you are, say, surrounded by pit bull owners, don't you think having something like this is an extremely good idea, at least for your family? Maybe you got little ones. Maybe they want to go out and play. Now, just if they want to do things like that, like play in their own front yard, do you know how necessary this is? This is like mandatory just for people to do normal everyday things. All of you joggers, think about it. You make yourself more of a target when you're jogging. Mail carriers, don't you think it's smart to have mail carriers wear uniforms that are puncture resistant? Why haven't they done this already? Is my question. Why haven't they done this already? It's guaranteed for thousands of mail carriers to be bitten, attacked every single year. It's going to happen. Rest assured, it's going to happen. And nobody knows who or when, who's going to be the victim and when it's going to happen. They should all have this. Mail carriers and really police officers too. They're always getting attacked, but you see, they always neutralize the threat most of the time. The way you should neutralize a threat. Any other type of worker that involves going onto some other person's property, the electric man, the plumber, whatever. Anytime you are working, you go into somebody's house, man, you need protection from dogs. Period. And this is what, society doesn't want to do this. Society does not want to cast dogs in that type of light. Have y'all noticed that? Because when it comes to protection, there's a lot of things that a lot of different people need. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. And if dogs were not here, we wouldn't need any of this. So you need some type of protective suit around you. You also need a weapon. Okay? You don't want to be just walking around letting dogs chew up on you and you okay with it just because you got some kind of protective suit. Like I said, they could eventually get through those things. Anything can happen. Y'all have seen people get attacked where their clothes come off, their shoes come off, their pants come off. Dogs, they'll take your pants right off. Now you lose your pants. Now you ain't got no protection. Now you need a weapon. I don't want to hear no complaints from lawmakers. Y'all have forced us to do this. I'm not about to be one of these stupid, brainless citizens going up to these dogs, rubbing on them. These retarded inbred mutants. No, thank you. I'm not about to pretend that they're harmless when they're out here tearing us up. People of all ages. Protective suit. You need some type of weapon. Something that is effective, by the way. Okay? It's sad, that we have to do stuff like this. I personally carry a Roscoe. But it would be smart for people to get some type of air rifle, pellet gun, BB gun. I also got a BB gun. Because nothing else is going to neutralize them. That makes it a lot worse. The fact that these things are physically imposing. It would be different if they launched attacks and were bloodthirsty, yet they were small and ineffective. No, these things are large and very effective, very dangerous. One of them can unalive a grown man. So this is a shame. It's despicable, man. And like I said, We need more people to be outraged about this. Another thing, and this is a recent story, and this article was published today. Look at this. There was this cop who was called to, I think, a domestic dispute. Yeah, domestic violence call in Waukesha County. Not sure where that is. And the cop, the deputy, was bitten by the dog. Okay? Dog went over there, tried to do his thing, and this man that you're looking at right here intentionally, look at this, intentionally directed his dog towards the deputy during the encounter. So he basically sicked the dog onto the cop. Thankfully, the cop unleashed on that mutt and neutralized the threat, unaliving the worthless inbred mutt. But look at what he was charged with and look at their choice of words. The dog owner was arrested and now faces a felony charge of battery to a law enforcement officer using a dangerous what? Would you just call that dog? What did you just call that dog? What a charge. What a description. What a description of something that y'all hauling into elementary schools instructing prepubescent youngsters to rub on. Y'all trying to desensitize them to what? To this? You're trying to get them to look at what? As if it's harmless? Dog culture is despicable. It needs to die. It needs to die. It immediately. This is more proof that all these owners who are parents, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the endangerment law. So in other words, it's no different from a Roscoe. This is the charge, man. This is not the author of this article's personal choice of words. This is what he was charged with. Using a dangerous weapon. They called it a weapon. Ridiculous. And who decides that? The court, to whoever, lawmakers, whoever. Y'all refer to it as a weapon. You know that they're weapons. And they're the worst types of weapons. Because they have a brain of their own. A dysfunctional, retarded brain. At that. So just despicable. I get tired of being disgusted and upset. I really do. So I try not to be. But this is infuriating. Dog culture is so infuriating. Everything involved, every element, law, police officers, all the laws that surrounds dog culture, that's there to protect dogs and give them the green light to tear everybody apart. Yeah. A whole lot needs to be done. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this brief live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.